When a story begins with a young person facing a terminal diagnosis, we naturally brace for a narrative of fading light. But Ajna George's life followed a different trajectory, a spark that maintained its intensity even as the darkness closed in. In her early 20s, Ajna was exactly where many strive to be. She was ambitious, deeply integrated into her community, and radiating a sense of future potential. Her academic record was impeccable, a full A-plus student who cleared the national eligibility test on her first attempt. She had already transitioned from a brilliant student to a respected commerce professor. Outside the classroom, she was a leader. She coordinated the Jesus Youth Movement and served as the lead vocalist for a Christian music band, a voice so distinct her friends knew her simply as the Nightingale. Success, community, and a clear path forward, Ajna possessed every element of a thriving, promising life. That trajectory was suddenly interrupted by a diagnosis of severe, aggressive cancer. At that age, a terminal diagnosis usually triggers a predictable psychological collapse. It brings a paralyzing fear of the future and the crushing weight of everything being stolen away. Visitors arrived at her hospital room expecting to provide comfort to a dying girl. Instead, they were met with a paradox. Ajna was the one putting them at ease. The disease advanced with terrifying speed, attacking her jaw and necessitating a series of invasive, high-stakes surgeries. These procedures were physically transformative. To rebuild her face, surgeons had to harvest precious bone and flesh from her leg to graft it into her jawline. Despite these efforts, the cancer reached her optic nerve, robbing her of the vision in her left eye. Soon after, the tumor spread further, and she lost her hearing as well. By every clinical observation, Ajna's body was undergoing a total, agonizing collapse. She was enduring a level of physical suffering that should have been all-consuming. While her body failed, her spiritual resolve remained steady. She refused to complain about the pain, telling those around her that faith remained the pillar of her strength. She made a deliberate effort to find peace in small moments. Even after her first major surgery, she insisted on visiting the Fort Kochi beach with her mother and friends, seeking connection over isolation. Her selflessness became a daily practice. She prioritized celebrating her friends' career achievements and continued to wake them for morning prayers, focusing on their lives while she fought for her own. When doctors finally informed her there were no bones left to harvest and no more medical options available, she responded with calm acceptance. She asked only for the Eucharist. Ajna's joy was an active, deliberate creation. It was built on a foundation of gratitude that remained intact even as her physical reality was dismantled. In her final days, as her body reached its limit, Ajna remained focused on expressing gratitude to those who had stood by her. Her last conscious act was a final effort to thank her mother for her love and care, using her remaining breath to voice her appreciation. Shortly after, Ajna George passed away, ending her physical struggle with the disease. Medically, the cancer won, but the way she lived showed a spirit that had won a much larger victory against despair. Most of us will face moments where our plans fall apart and we encounter deep, unexpected pain. Ajna demonstrated that joy can be a constant, even at the peak of physical suffering. Her resilience came from a deep spiritual anchoring that allowed her sense of peace to survive as her body failed. When we remember the Nightingale, we see a warrior who challenges us to face our own struggles with that same defiant, radical joy.